would we feel if we did not have the Declaration of Independence and we were still forced to be in the Church of England? We would all be a part of the Church of England. Or what would it be like if the King of England did not break away from the Catholic Church, then we would still be forced to be Catholic? That's an interesting thing. You have to believe what you're told. And not until the late 1600s and the early 1700s, in most places, if you didn't believe how the authorities told you, you're going to die. You're going to get some of that. You're going to be a heretic. That is one reason why we should be real excited about the Declaration of Independence, and why we should all still have that fiery stuff in our soul. And that's why we should read it every year. It's vital to our understanding, because if not, the cost is high. Like, it's really high. Can you imagine if we were in some of these really bad places around the world where you are forced to believe how they tell you? Whew, that would really suck. Because what does it do? I mean, it suppresses our individual consciousness. We don't get the pleasure of having diversified ideas. We can't really learn ourselves because we don't have anything to bounce ideas off of. You know, if me and Steve back there believe totally opposite things, but we're friends and we got along and we had open intellectual and emotional conversations to try to bubble up to the truth, that's how we grow as individuals. And so if we stifling that creates the undermining of our souls. And I think we take it for granted. We think most people, if you ask them, hey, what'd y'all do on the 4th? You know, we sat around and ate some hot dogs and ate some chips, and not one of us ever thought one time about what it took for us to sit around and eat hot dogs. I asked somebody a couple of years ago when I was out here, because every year I read the Declaration, and I said, well, what do you do? Do you ever read it? And they said, no, I just play ball. I just play ball. Well, that's interesting, because if you don't pay attention, bad stuff happens. You know, I'm one of the biggest fans. Like, if there was a Thomas Jefferson fan club, I would be the leader of his fan club. Of course, he had crazy amount of flaws, just like the rest of us. But when he wrote this to his friend, he said, the tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. It is natural manure. It is God's way of rejuvenating the human spirit. How else do you maintain freedom? These same guys, if they were to look at us now, they would go, wow, it only took y'all 250 years to screw this up. And screw it up in a big way. In a big way. And I really like this. I saw this picture of Franklin, but it's not Franklin's quote. He's reading Thomas Jefferson. Rebellion to tyrants is obedience to God. And man, do I ever believe that. Toleration is really necessary. We need diverse opinions so we can actually honestly discuss things. Because we get so rigid in our thoughts, and we think, you know, because my mama and daddy and my grandma and grandpa told me this is exactly why and how I should believe, no matter if it's politics, no matter if it's religion, whatever it is. If you don't understand why it is that you believe that, and what are the foundational, dig deep into the truth of no matter what it is, you're lost. You're a sheep. But you have to have tolerance, but then tolerance can also be too much. You know, like if we look at our country and you think, well, we do want every religious idea, so we can filter it out for ourselves. But do we want Sharia law? Do we want people to overtake that? I don't think so. I don't think so. Tolerance can also become a hindrance. It's a problem. But imagine this, man, how cool it is. You imagine being, you're right off the ship and you got all these people going around trying to figure out how to farm and figuring out how to do all this stuff and live and try to figure out how to get along with their neighbors better. Because we've all had the neighbor who was an ass, but you're an ass out in the middle of the boondocks out here. You ain't got nobody to come save you, so you better learn how to be nice. You better learn how to make friends so you got the backing of all your neighbors. But to have these people having not only the courage, but just to go around exploring it all. I mean, this guy was part of the big reason why there just became a big spread of different denominations in Christianity. I mean, most Christians believe just all sorts of things that are different from a Baptist, a Methodist, a Catholic, I mean, whatever. There are 40,000 denominations, like literally 40,000 denominations, and they all have their own little take on it. I think it's great. I mean, Baptists might not agree with that, or Methodists might not agree with that, or whoever, but so what? Without it, you're lost. My grandpa used to tell me when I was a kid that my body was my temple. I didn't quite understand that as a kid, because you kind of take everything for granted as a kid. Like everything for granted as a kid. Your health, you think you're invincible. But as you get older, I'm in my mid-50s, and I understand more and more and more that my body is my temple, just like it is for each one of you individually. Like our bag of flesh, this is our walking consciousness. We're able to walk around and freely bounce off ideas with each other. Me and Antoine are able to hang out for hours on end, smoking cigars and exploring all sorts of foundational ideas. And we're able to do that because of the Declaration of Independence and what that led to. And we should celebrate it, and we should celebrate ourselves, because we don't need a pastor, we don't need a guru, we don't need anybody. We have ourselves, and because we have ourselves, we can work on ourselves so we can build relationships with other people. And we don't need an intermediary like I've experienced in my life. You got to do this thing and that thing and that thing before God's going to talk to you. I don't think so. I think each of us have our own direct line. I don't need my pastor or preacher to be my middleman and tell me, oh yes, you're saved, my son. No. And I'm able to do that because our founding fathers understood the importance of being able to think freely, to believe what resonated or resonates with you, not anybody else. Man, I mean, look at this quote from Jefferson. I have sworn upon the altar of God the eternal hostility against any form of tyranny over the mind of man. God, why don't people talk like that anymore? Like, why don't they just do it? Can you imagine, like right now, when we think about the American Revolution, we think, oh man, I bet everybody was up in arms. They were all fighting for freedom. No, 3%, 3%, 1, 2, 3. Let's see, that's the amount it took to fight off London. When you ask somebody what was the first capital of this land, most people don't know, but unfortunately, it was London. And only a third wanted it. Almost everybody else wanted to be slaves. Like literally, they wanted to be subjects of the king. It's insane. It's insanity. It's insanity. Luckily, we have the idea still that we have equal rights, but we all know that's a lie. I mean, we know it's a lie. We don't have equal rights. And why don't we have equal rights? What's up, Kev? Is because now it's money. If you don't have enough money for good attorneys, you don't have any justice in this country, even if you're falsely accused or rightly accused. If you don't have any money, there's no justice for you. It's not the way it's supposed to be. It's not the way it's supposed to be. And I don't know if any of y'all, if y'all ever get a chance to go to George Washington's house or Thomas Jefferson's, go do it. Just go do it. Every man ought to be protected in worshiping the deity according to the dictates of his own conscience. Man, can you imagine hanging out with these guys? Man, God, that would have just been great. That would have been great. Can we judge other people? These were some of the most brilliant minds that have ever existed in one place. Like, it's a special thing. It's special, even though they're screwed up with their flaws. They made it where we don't have to be forced down on our knees and worship anything that we don't want to. We don't have a gun at our back. We don't have it. Not yet. Not yet. Don't think for a second that we won't if we don't pay attention. We have to pay attention. It is not free. It's tiring. What do? You feel alone. Like, I'm just one guy. What am I going to do? I see everything's going away. The Fourth Amendment, our privacy's gone. A lot of free speech is gone. A lot of everything is gone. Most people don't think about it. You got to ask permission to do everything. If you want to go fishing, you need permission. If you want to drive, you need permission. If you want to travel, you need permission. If you want to do anything, you need a license. You need some type of approval. You need a slip of paper from Big Daddy. Every single thing we do Everything. If you think of anything you like to do, you are getting a permission slip from your rulers. That is a fact. Our founding fathers would be turning over in their graves. And it's tiring. It's tiring. What do you do? Who are your friends? Who are you going to get together with? Who are you going to raise up and say, hey, this is enough? I don't know. Don't know. It's interesting. I think the foundation of liberty, that's our societal value. It's instilled in all of us. Like, there is one great thing about all Americans. I mean, every one of them, from even the dumbass socialists, they still have, and I say that in the kindest of ways, all you socialists that are listening, I think you can, if you thought about it and understood history, you'd see that how big of a mistake that is. We believe that you have the right to say and do what you want, so long as you don't infringe upon somebody else. If you want to protest, go protest, but just don't go throw rocks and crap through somebody's window. Don't set cars on fire. Whatever it is that you disagree with, go out, sell it, sell your idea. Why are you right? Why are you? And the truth comes out when people honestly discuss things. It does. Most people get pissed off because often we find out whatever we were thinking may have not been all the way true. And then we get upset by it, and then it hurts our feelings because we wrapped ourselves up with that identity because we don't practice it. We just don't practice it. The empowerment of the individual. They get their power from us, not the other way around. It's the way it is. It's just the way it is. We have a moral imperative. A moral imperative. When is the last time anybody in here has read the Declaration of Independence? Has it been in anybody in the past 3 years? 2 years? 2 years ago? Oh, we got a winner 2 years ago. It does count if you listened to me last year. Good job, Jill. Good job. Well, I can tell you right now, we're going to read the Declaration of Independence, and especially everybody at home, all you 8,000 to 12,000 people that watch every Sunday. It's important. We have to remind ourselves. We have to remind ourselves of the spirit of freedom. And I'm not reading the whole thing. I'm just reading the 2 first opening paragraphs because they're vital. They're vital. And why wouldn't we do that every single year just as a reminder? We have to. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitle them. It's a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. Man, that's a good way to start off a divorce from another country or from your girlfriend or boyfriend. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator, with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Not happiness, the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it. It is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Wow, that's some good stuff. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes. And accordingly, all experience has shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, which we are. It's tough to look at ourselves. A lot of people like to stay in their depression. Like, the Declaration is a direct mirror to each one of us in this sentence. Mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. Man, I think we can all agree to that. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces designed to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right. It's their right. And it is their duty to throw off such government. It's not continue to suffer. It is our duty. It's our duty as men and women. It is our duty. Let me say that again. It is our duty. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries, and then he goes on to mention those things which today we would think are nothing. We would think they're nothing. We're like, oh wow, they did all that just for those little things? That's why I say our founders would absolutely be repulsed by our lack of being a frog in boiling water. We just allowed it to happen to ourselves. And if we're not real careful, it's gone away. It will be gone away in our lifetimes. My lifetime for sure. I say we should probably pay attention. We should probably gather and have more discussions amongst ourselves. We should probably be around people that think. We probably should listen to different ideas that kind of rub us the wrong way to see if we are really thinking right or not. It's important. We have to exercise our mind and our emotions and practice the art of communication to find the truth. And we should never censor anybody ever for anything so long as it does not directly harm somebody else. Say and do whatever you want so long as you don't physically harm somebody else or their property. I love y'all. If this resonates with y'all, come out and see us. If not, stay home. See you.